Iroh was the reigning Fire Nation general for several decades, next in line for the Fire Lord position. It goes without saying that he was a masterful strategist on the battlefield, leading hundreds of men at a time during his war efforts. His leadership was renowned. He was able to penetrate the outer wall of Ba Sing Se, an achievement thought impossible by any army. This would continue in his old age, where he was able to command the White Lotus against Ozai's army. Though Iroh conducted himself in a peaceful manner, he usually went into a fight with offense in mind. On several occasions, we have seen him rush his opponents with a barrage of firebending attacks and hand-to-hand punches. But he was not one-sided in his offense. His ability to redirect lightning showcases that he was open to defensive techniques, especially in regards to counters. While Tenzin was no war general, he certainly knew his way around a fight. We have seen him in several skirmishes against the Red Lotus and Chi blockers of Republic City. He actually never led any of those fights, always working on a whim, but he was certainly able and ready. This makes sense, as an airbender could adapt to many situations without a plan or strategy. Just like a typical airbender, especially one so dedicated to typical teachings, Tenzin was a dedicated defensive fighter. As stated before, it was Tenzin's mindset to outlast his foes rather than overwhelm them with a bombardment. His strength came from counters and parries, often tripping up his opponents to gain an advantage. He fought more with his wits and precision than he did with his brawn and power. Though this round is close, it still has a decisive winner. Iroh was primarily an offensive fighter, while Tenzin was primarily a defensive one, but I feel Iroh's defense was much better than Tenzin's offense. Yes, Tenzin was quite precise and could very well trip up Iroh a few times, but none of Tenzin's skills suggest that he has power enough to get through Iroh's stout physique. Iroh may not be able to power through Tenzin straight away, but we have seen that he has the tools to work around a foe's defenses without relying on power tactics. Not to mention, Iroh had far more combat experience than Tenzin, participating in several battles throughout the 100-Year War. Because of this, I give Iroh the edge in terms of his tactical abilities. I don't see any realistic reason why these two would fight, but if they did cross paths, their fight would be long-lasting and hard-fought. Physically, they were on par. Tenzin was far more agile and nimble than Iroh, but Iroh had more vigor and might than Tenzin. With regards to their bending abilities, Iroh had more tools than Tenzin, having the ability to bend fire and lightning. What's more, Iroh had far more battle experience than the Master Airbender. Let's set up this fight. Let's say it takes place at the palace of Ba Sing Se. Each combatant stands 15 yards away from one another. Iroh throws out a punch of fire aimed directly at the airbender. Tenzin spins on his heel, extinguishing the fire away through his rotation. As he comes out of his dance, he throws out a gust of wind at Iroh. Iroh takes the blow full on, stonewalling the gust of wind as it weathers at his side. The firebender kicks out 2 low sweeps of flames, but Tenzin jumps them easily. Coming out of his second sweep, Iroh throws out another fist of flame. This time it catches Tenzin's chest. Tenzin falls back on the ground, but he kips up quickly. But as he gets up, he is met with a barrage of fire fist. Utilizing his hand-to-hand experience, Iroh tries to land haymaker after haymaker, but he can't land a solid punch, only grazing Tenzin at best. With each punch, Tenzin brushes off the blow in a gusting spin, employing the training of the airbending gates, always finding the path of least resistance. Eventually, Tenzin counters one of Iroh's attacks, kicking out with an air sweep. It catches Iroh at the ankle, tripping him up. With an open advantage, Tenzin throws out a mini tornado, wrapping Iroh up in its cyclone. Iroh flies round and round, eventually tumbling to the ground. Iroh is shaken, but not out. He spits up blood and wipes the sweat off his brow. Tenzin throws out several gusts of wind, but Iroh evades. Mustering the energies within himself, he lets out a fireball through his mouth. The flame is all-encompassing. All Tenzin can do is engulf himself in an air bubble. He protects himself from the heat, but he is left open to attack. With an outstretched hand, Iroh throws out several bolts of lightning at Tenzin, catching the airbender full on the chest. Tenzin falls back with a resounding thud. His body is unmoving. He is unconscious. And thus, I declare General Iroh, the Dragon of the West, the victor. Of course, this is all just my opinion. Please leave your thoughts and comments below. Do you think Tenzin could have won? Or do you agree Iroh's skill set would have edged out against him? Peace, love, and remember, be water, my friend.
And most recently, Star Wars: A New Dawn. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the one, the only, John Jackson Miller.
Hey, how's it going?
Alright, cool. So you're Hagrid, I am the boy who lived. So I cheated a little bit. I played last night just to see how to play.